Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having an amazing Tuesday. Good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday to start off the trading week. Again, a lot of stocks in play yesterday. Traded really nice, especially BA. BA was beautiful yesterday on the way it bounced back. So we'll get into that. Early this morning, I already see that BPTH is up to some stuff here. ATR on that thing, I was looking it up, is 843. I mean, that's just crazy. So 843 ATR on that is really moving like crazy this morning, already up a couple of bucks, probably almost 12 bucks just this morning in the pre-market. So again, guys, if you are touching that in the pre-market, please be very careful with your size. It's one of those stocks that can really if it can move in the wrong direction, it can really hurt. If you have even 100 shares, right? 100 shares, this thing can drop $5. That's $500, against you. So very careful. It's moving good in the pre-market now, but it's just so unpredictable, right? Every time here, it looks like it's ready to pop back up, but it can easily, again, just start, dropping from here. So, and the drop here could be $3 down to 40 right below VWAP. So just very careful with this type of stock. But yeah, we'll look into that as well. We'll find some levels. This thing is strong. I'm talking about it because I have it up right now. Again, it's been up to 73. It looks like it wants to head back up there again. So when it didn't sell off from this area here from 20, I figured this thing could be the real deal and start heading up. But again, just be very careful. So as usual, guys, good morning. We'll get into the top plays and highlights from yesterday. We'll see what the SPY is doing this morning as well. I think it's opening up pretty flat at the moment. And then we'll get into our pre-market watch list. We'll go over any announcements we have, and then we'll finalize the list of our watch list this morning. All right, so let's look at what we had yesterday. So ELAN was actually a bust, man. This thing did not do well at all. And I kind of expected this based on the pre-market action. We knew it looked funky, right? It didn't look too good, and the volume was there, but it's just something about it wasn't clean. And just like that, as it opened up yesterday, and then almost the entire day, just pure chop, just not giving us any type of clean moves at all. Just very choppy here, and it really traded like that the whole entire day. At the end of early afternoon, you had a nice little breakout here from VWAP, but again, just the entire day, just complete chop. And the signals, if you look at the 1 minute chart, it was possible fake outs here and there, right? Because it looked like it was going to break off nicely here, then it bounces back, and then you think it's going to break up, and it really doesn't do much, and it's moving just a couple of cents. So turned out not to be a great stock to trade yesterday. BA was amazing. Again, another reason, guys, why you don't want to be short bias on any stock you trade, right? So BA on negative news with the crash. I don't think there was any news yet if it was this aircraft's fault at that time yesterday, right? There was still a lot of investigation happening. So look at this. This was down quite a bit. I think about 10% or so. I don't remember the exact number. Opens up, sells off, and then completely sells all the way back up to almost 400. So just a beautiful trend trade towards the top side. Andrew took this trade around this area here and just continued to ride nicely all the way up. So again, today is definitely in play. Today again is down 3.4 with some volume on short selling restriction already. I think it was on short selling restriction after the open yesterday. So already it's on for the pre-market. So let's see what it does today. We'll look at it in a second. Tesla yesterday, again, just went on an uptrend. Same thing, sold off here, popped back up, never lost VWAP after that. A beautiful bull flag here, or ABCD pattern. You see this here? This will be your pull here. This is your entry as close as possible to VWAP. It goes, test the high of the day, and it continues up. So Tesla traded really well yesterday, and they went a nice little trend all the way up to 290s up here. So really nice trade on Tesla. Hope you guys took advantage of that. But just a very clean bull flag on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute chart. And the 1 minute, it's a little choppy here, just consolidating, but look how it holds this VWAP. So that was the key there, holding that VWAP and then just taking advantage of all the moving averages right below it and taking off. So that was really nice. Roku was also nice to trade. I traded Roku yesterday. Again, just really strong. It today is selling off a bit, right? Down 2.1, might be in play as well. So we'll look at that. But if you look at the open, right, you had this this is where I traded here. I got in this area because I kind of had like another bull flag as well. Also ABCD pattern, A, this being B, and this being C, and then it just takes off from there. So that's what I saw on Roku. Didn't take a lot of shares because Roku is a stock that can really move against you pretty fast. So just slowly grinding higher here, just making a nice trend all the way up. Then lost it, went all the way down to the moving average and bounces right back up. So even here could have been possible double top, right? Not a strong engulfing pattern right over here, but this could have been a great short once you started losing these moving averages. Maybe you don't get right in this one, but after it consolidates here, this could have been another great entry, no confirmation. Like, okay, this is not trying to hold the moving averages bounce back up. This could have been a great short. 2 VWAP, and then some extra if it went down below that. So that was great. LLY was very choppy at the open. It did a slow moving uptrend here, but just very choppy. It was no way to trade. Look at this 1 minute chart. I mean, how do you get in here? Which way do you get in, right? So not clean at all. Eventually just started, you know, just making a little nice trend towards the top, but again, just not clean to get into this trade. So MU again, MU just continued to be strong. Let's look at the daily chart for MU actually. Again, it had this huge day. I believe this was Friday, right? And then just continues to grind higher. So yesterday, if we look at yesterday, it did have a nice trade towards the top, right over here. So at the open, again, you had to yeah, oh, that's the that is the 1 minute chart. Let's get the 5. Here we go. All right, so at the open, you could have a nice possible long either here or here, depending on what kind of opening strategy you're looking for. But then here it just becomes very toppy, and it never takes off from there. So it had a good entry in the morning, and then after that, it was very difficult to trade. It was stuck within this range here. So that was MU for you yesterday. GLBS was also a dud. It just didn't do anything. You know, it just it opened up, it sold off. It gave you a possible break on. Actually, was looking at it here. By this time, I was already on at the trade show yesterday. And it was starting to sell up, but again, it just didn't really do anything in the morning. Just very choppy, very weak. And TNXP is one of those stocks that does not sell up great at all. And we were talking about this yesterday. Andrew mentioned this, that there's a stock that just, you know, it sells down nice, right? So here, gap sub sells off, gap sub sells off. It sells off nice, but it doesn't sell up. And we've been seeing that the last couple of days with TNXP. You know, it'll gap up. Yeah, you get a few spikes here and there, but at the end of the day, it's just better at selling off than actually selling up. So that was TNXP for you yesterday. Also didn't give you a really any good possible trades here. It gave a little fake out here. If you were able to get a really good entry, you could have taken advantage of this. But again, you want a good confirmation of some consolidation happening before you take a pop towards the top. All right, so let's get rid of our watch list for yesterday. Let's see what the market has for us today. Let's see what the SPY is doing. I think we're opening up pretty flat again. Like almost every day we're opening up pretty flat on the SPY. So let's tune into the action now in our charts on the SPY. So yeah, so we're up quite a bit, a little less than even half of a percent. So, you know, 2.4 on this, opening up pretty flat basically, but we have a nice rebounds here. We had like a double top here. We sold off for about 3 to 5 days in a row here. This is almost like a break-even date. And then we got this push. This was Monday, I believe. No, I'm sorry. This was Friday. This was yesterday, and this is today. So again, just kind of a bit of a bounce here. Though we're going to hang out here a little more in the bottom, but let's see if we can get back to these levels of where it was. So the SPY is looking strong right now, opening up pretty flat like almost every day. So we'll see what it does throughout the day. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Let's look at our gappers list right over here. We'll start with BPTH, which as we know has been just in play every single day here. Then we'll go over the NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. We'll see what we can find out of that pile. And then we'll look at what you guys have on your end that you're watching that I have might not looked at. So let's get started over with BPTH. And I'm going to throw it all the way down here because obviously this is a very low flow stock. BPTH, I think the flow is like what, like 500,000, right? BPTH. Yeah, even less, 315,000 flow. So again, very, very low flow. You want to be very careful, guys, with this stock. I know I keep mentioning it, but again, it does look attractive, right? To get in here with 100 shares at 40 bucks, get to 46, that's $600, right? But again, just the risk, it could be so much if it flushes down. So BPTX definitely in play today. 530,000 shares traded so far. So it already traded itself almost 1.5. So again, just kind of tells you what kind of low float this is. Let's find some levels. High of the pre-market right now, it's at 46.70. All the way up here, you have another one at 73.40.38 or so, 73.38. What else we have in here? And again, the way this thing's been moving, the levels are just a guide. They really do not mean much with this type of stock because it's just trades so parabolic. I mean, I think even the moving averages don't really, no, you don't want to put in a lot of weight into any moving average or anything on this type of a stock. 61.90 is another level I have over here. I know I'm looking at levels $20 away, but with this stock, you have to. We've seen that already. And then 51.72 is another possible level from this day over here. As you can see, you have the chart kind of bouncing in a range between 46 and the current price. And also you have another level right over here at 51.72 and one at 61.90. So plenty of levels here, but the most important thing when trading these stocks is the price action. Again, you want to make sure the price action is showing you something that that has a good risk to reward. But in this stock, it's very difficult to find a good risk to reward just with the ATR. Next, we have FXIX up 27.4, 325,000 shares traded so far. So that's quite a bit. Daily chart looks good. Looks like we have traded before in the past. We got some levels here. I'm going to remove these for now. Remove all. And yeah, we'll find some levels for these. So yeah, this looks okay. Pre-market action looks a little flat at the moment, but I do like the daily chart. Daily chart is bouncing back here and it's up quite a bit. Any news on this? Let's check Benzinga, what we have on FIX. What we got going on here. So all right, so they have earnings, news guidance. Okay. All right, so let's say they have some positive earnings yesterday after the close. So up on earnings today, that's good. It's got a catalyst to it. Again, but choppy pre-market action right now, though it has 325,000 shares trading and climbing. The price action is pretty choppy. Hopefully that can get better, but I do like the daily chart. Do like that it's up quite a bit, 27%. Momo's up on our scanners today. Momo is up 9.8. Daily chart's a little choppy, and we know Momo. We traded several times in the past, and it can be very choppy, so you have to be careful. But today up 9.8. Pre-market action looks a little bit choppy as well, not clean here. We can find some good levels here. The daily chart, I don't like the daily chart neither, but we'll watch Momo unless we find something better. Seems like we have some kind of a level here that is tested at least once, two, and now the third time. So let's see if we can crack above that. Also, I just want to check if there's any news on this ticker today. What do we have here? All right, so they got earnings, so they beat earnings as well. All right, good. So they got some earnings early this morning. Looks like some news guidance there. All right, so Momo's good volume, good daily chart, decent daily chart, not great. Let's look at Boeing. Let's see what Boeing is doing today. So down 3.3. 331,000 shares traded so far. Again, we got several levels already in here that look pretty good, but we're gonna remove them and just do them again just to make sure we have the cleanest levels as possible. So remove all lines. We'll get into it. And this is what we talk about, guys. Again, this thing gapped quite a bit, and look at yesterday, it just gained all the way back. It's gapping down again now. So not being short bias on your watch list is very, very important. So pre-market action looks good, selling off a bit now. 1 minute chart looks very nice. Look at this flow to it. This is the type of flow you want to see in a pre-market action. 5 minute chart also looks great. Volume's coming in. You got steady volume here happening also, so that's good. So BA will definitely be in play today. DKS 190,000 shares, down 6.4. Horrible pre-market action. This is pretty flat at the moment. It was nice here. It was turning down really nice, and if it could have just kept doing some kind of a flow, would have been great. But here it's just pretty flat at the moment. See what the daily chart looks like. Daily chart looks good. You have a nice flow here. Doesn't look like it moves much, but you have a nice flow here. Now you have this drop here, 6.4. So let's see. It's got to get better. Right now it has some volume, and most of it is sitting on, you know, this candle here and this one here. So we need some kind of steady flow to create that nice flow we're looking for. Next we have GLBS. I know GLBS is a low flow. GLBS, let's throw this one down here. So down 10.5, 105,000 shares traded. So this gap up this morning, or what is it doing? Let's get in here. So so it looked like it opened up, went up, and then it's just selling off now. So not looking too interesting. Not much volume either. 105,000 shares is not a lot for this type of stock. So we'll keep it on here, but most likely we'll drop this one off. If it sells off today, it's not really going to be in play anyways. I don't have shares for short. But yeah, this doesn't look good at the moment. All right, let's go into our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. Let's see what we got going on in these two columns. BPTH we have, SFIX we have as well. What's the flow actually on SFIX? I did not check that. 36.8. All right, so it's not a low flow, but it is a lower flow than what we usually trade. ATR is $1.47. So yeah, it's manageable. It's not too bad. That's manageable. Okay, what do we have here? Dan, GLBS is a micro float. Yeah, yeah, well, it's 36 million, so it's not too low of a float. What do you guys see in Finbis or anywhere else for that stock? Well, you look for that. Let's look at what we have here. AKBA is 198,000 shares traded so far, up 27%. So this looks interesting. Yeah, we could keep this on here. What's the flow for this one? I think we looked at this one in the past, but I never traded it. 53 million shares float. Let's throw it on here. AKBA. All right. Yeah, actually never traded this one, but we'll keep it on here. Looks interesting. It's down quite a bit. Do we have shares for short? Yes, we do. So that's good. I'm sorry, this is up quite a bit. I'm sorry, 24%. Pre-market action doesn't look great neither. It just looks a little choppy here, but let's see. It has a lot of volume though, so let's see what it can do. What do we have next? Next we have SEAL. SEAL was in play last week, I believe. Yeah, had a big day last week. Sold off. Had a good day on Thursday, I believe this was. Today's has a lot of volume, 1.1 million shares, up 22.8. So that's good. Let's throw this on here. Let's see if SEAL could give us a good play this morning. What's the pre-market action look like? Let's check this out. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. You know, it's not doing an uptrend or anything. It's kind of pretty flat at the moment, but it is creating some kind of range. So this is good. But hopefully we got to get more volume though. I mean, where's this 1.1 million shares? Where's this being traded? You know, I don't see this here. Usually by 1.1 you want to have a nice flow to it. So I'm not seeing a great pre-market action from SEAL. Next we have SGOC. SGOC is not doing much, no volume. LPCN. 1.1 million shares trade. We've seen this one before in the past. This one doesn't trade as well. We traded this, well, not traded, but I looked at it before. We'll keep it on here. It does have quite a bit of volume, up 17%. It is under $5, which I like to be very careful with those type of stocks. But we'll keep it on here for now. Looks like it has a good range. It's showing a good pre-market action, very active, heading up then down here. So that's interesting. All right, next we have NH, nothing going on there. NDRA, not much. Momo we have up here already. ALQA, nothing going on, no volume, not a good pre-market action. OXFD is nothing going on. And then we'll go over to our NASDAQ active. LPCN we have, CO we have, AKBA we have, Momo we have, BPTH we have. Wow, we have all of these already up here, so pretty active list. We have the next one, SFIX we have as well. AMD, let's look at AMD, see what's going on here. Number 9 on the list. Has the volume, not a great pre-market action, but depending how these goes, I might add AMD and MU, because MU traded really nice the last couple of days. It's getting back to our list of things to look at. And then you got the TVIX here. All right, so let's get through this list. So what do we find on GLBS? 40 million shares on GLBS. Okay, so that's tradable. We could trade that. No, GLBS is oh, I'm sorry, Dan, you're talking about GLBS. I thought you were talking about the one that I was actually looking at the time. Yeah, GLBS, it's a very low float. It's a very low float. We were talking about SFIX. This is the one we were talking about, the float on this one here. And this one is about 40, right? Is that confirmed now? Yep. All right, so good. All right, so let's see what you guys have on your end. Throw some tickers out. Let's see what's going on. We have Roku. Yeah, Roku is interesting, actually. I like Roku. On the daily chart, I like the daily chart as well. It's been pushing up here, and now it's kind of selling off a bit. Oh, I don't have shares for short. Bummer. All right. But still a great stock to watch today. Again, it's just been very active, and if we can go on a nice trend trade or sell off or whatever the case may be, could be nice to watch. So we'll keep this one on watch. I like Roku for today. Let's see what it does in this pre-market. Right now, not doing much, guys. This is not a great pre-market action, not much volume, but Roku has been in play over the last couple of days, giving us a good open, either selling off or selling up. So it's good just to have it on watch. If we don't find nothing that looks better than that, then we can keep it or we can drop it off. We can make changes as we go. Next, ADT, see what we got going on here. ADT, 258,000 shares traded, down 11%. There's got to be some news on this. Let's check Benzinga. What's going on with ADT? Are people not securing their houses? Is this the ADT security thing, right? I'm assuming it is. All right, so they had earnings last night. And it looks like, all right, looks like they didn't have good earnings or news or news buyback. Okay, so not a good day for ADT. Earnings are not looking great, or news guidance, whatever is causing the drop. But they're down quite a bit, so that's good. We do have shares for short. The volume is 258, but it's not creating the best pre-market action, but it's down quite a bit, and I do like the daily chart. So let's watch ADT today. This looks interesting. We'll keep this on here. We'll find some levels in a second. All right, yeah, you're right, Jen. It is a low ATR, but yeah, we'll see. I think we can if depending how it goes, we can definitely catch a play on it. Etsy, let's see what Etsy's doing here. All right, so Etsy is doesn't have the volume now. I do like the daily chart. Looks like it's bouncing back. Could be because of the market as well, right? The SPY has the same bounce here. You can see a lot of stock with the same daily pattern, but it's trying to head back up towards this high over here. Pre-market action right now doesn't look great, so this is something we can look out for our scanners. But I see what you're looking at. Yeah, the daily chart looks like it has a good pattern here, right? It's heading back up here. The SPY is opening up pretty flat, so this might also depend on what the market does. If it's not going to be trading independently unless there's any news on this, which I doubt, because we have no volume at the moment. All right, anything else, guys? What else you have on your end? Microsoft, and then we'll look at MU next. Let's see what MU is up to. Microsoft is no volume at the moment. What's going on? Yeah, see, this is the bounce I'm talking about, right? It's kind of what the market is doing. We had this day where we gapped down quite a bit. We gained it back, and then we had a big day yesterday, and now we're kind of back at these highs that we're trying to break out of. The SPY is doing very similar pattern. Let's look at what the SPY is doing. See this right here? Almost identical, right? You had the day where you gap down, and then we just bounce back from there back to this level that we've been at consolidating for a while, or just kind of going sideways. So let's see today. Let's see what happens. Are we going to get back up here? We're going to, hang around this level again and do some ranges, or what the deal is with the SPY. But a lot of these stocks, these daily stocks, just have the same pattern here. All right. So let's see. Oh, let's look at MU. Let's see what MU is doing. All right. So MU, not much volume. Let's look at the daily chart in MU. All right, yeah, nothing great. I mean, again, just the same bounce we've been looking at, but MU might not be in play today. But we'll see. The volume always comes in on MU. Is one of those stocks that, if we usually don't have anything else to watch, they're great to look at. So we have NVDA, no volume, but had a big day yesterday. Yeah, there it is. Again, just that same pattern, right? The drop and then the slingshot move down here. Again, getting to this levels that we've been at the last 2 weeks or so. So yeah, but this is a great daily chart. This had a really big day yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what it does today. We'll look for this in our scanners also, see if it pops up. What's Tesla doing? Tesla actually did all right yesterday, but today not doing much. Pretty flat. Yep, not doing much at the moment. Selling off a bit, down 1%. But yeah, had a pretty decent day yesterday. All right, so I think we have quite a bit. Let's go through this, see what we have, what we can get rid of, what we like to keep. So let's go over, let's start from the top. So XFix here, it is up quite a bit, 26%. So I do like that. Pre-market action doesn't look too great at the moment, but let's find some levels just in case. Even if we take it off, we have our levels ready in case it pops into our scanners. High of the pre-market, 38.80. Low of the pre-market, 33.26. And what I'm looking at, guys, well, I'm not reading off the numbers I'm putting here. I'm just putting the level as close as possible to it. Here's where the pre-market high and pre-market low are sitting at right now. So I just look up here and give you the exact number, 34.80, 33.26. This is what I'm looking at. In case you're wondering what the hell is Carlos doing, he's not reading what he's actually putting here. I'm looking at up here. So so as your pre-market low, pre-market high, we have a clear gap obviously over here all the way down to 29.64. Let's scroll back and see if we can find a level in between here. Wow, that's a big gap. We jumped this gap right from back in October. See, it's all clean here. There's nothing in here, so we just kind of cover that gap. The next gap on the way up, if we decide to continue, we have another one over here, right at 38.83. Anything in between? Yeah, I think we do have some stuff in between here. Maybe some consolidation or something. All right, so I'm gonna pick this level here, guys. and I'll give you a reason why. So 32 happens to be 32, but what I was looking at, look at these days, how they all come down to this 32 and they kind of bounce off of it, right? You consolidate, it then becomes resistance here, bounces back up, becomes resistance again. This one 29.64, almost support, breaks down a little bit, but almost support here. And then you got these ranges on that 32 bouncing 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times, right? And again, these levels are an area, they're not exact. So that 32 looks good for a midpoint here in between where the price action is now and this gap down here. Stuck within this range now, not moving much, looks pretty flat. But again, I like the daily chart. I like how it's up 26.4. Hopefully it can get the volume and trade nice today. So this looks good. Momo, I don't like the daily chart Momo, to be honest. A volume in the pre-market action look a little bit choppy. Has 794,000 shares traded, but again, not creating anything exciting here. So we'll find some levels just in case. This tends to hit our scanners. We can hop into it, or we can look at it if we don't find nothing that looks more exciting. High of the pre-market right now, 36.10. Low of the pre-market is very close to where these levels are at, so I'm not going to mark that one. Towards the bottom, this is what happens when you have a gappy daily chart, right? You can't find good clean levels. You see this here, like what's your next level in here? You know, that's very difficult to find. So I'm going to try to pick this one over here based on this day and kind of the other days hanging around, the open and close kind of hanging around this 34.41. You have these 2 days hitting that 34.41 as well. But again, not the cleanest level to find, but this is what happens when you have this type of nasty daily chart. This is not a clean daily chart at all. All right, so I have 36.08, 34.41. Then towards the bottom, you got the previous day high. You got the previous day high here as well from 2 days ago. This will be Friday. And then you got the previous day close, and then plenty of levels down here as well. Previous day low from Friday. And then you got 30.28 and 28.85. I don't think we'll get down there, but let's find a level towards the top. You also have a moving average coming in around 37.50. Let's see if we find a daily level up here. All right, so we could mark down these levels right up here. 37.22, which also is a moving average is coming. I think that's a 200 moving average coming in as well, which could be a strong moving average for this stock. So far right now we tested a 36.08 at least 3 times, right? We got 1, 2, 3. So let's see if we can crack through that. So Momo looks good. Boeing, let's see what Boeing is doing. So towards the bottom we have the low of yesterday, right? Previous day low. Then we have the previous the current pre-market low 384, right? 384.21. High of the pre-market right now sitting at 396.05, 396.05, and then above that you have the previous day close, previous day highs, and tons of levels up here. Let's see how it looks down. Yeah, so you got those 2 main levels there. Again, look at this 36. I'm sorry, this 384.06. See how that's being supported by this here. So it's found some clear support off this level. So let's see if we can bounce from there. Right now, pre-market action showing that it's doing a nice double bottom on the 1-minute chart, bouncing from this level, and just concise at this level. It's you know, it's the last time it gapped up here. So definitely finding some support in this area. So let's see, guys. Again, don't be short bias on this stock. See what happened yesterday. Had a big down day and it recovered a lot. So same thing can happen today, or not. We'll see. But again, just play the price action. Do not play, you know, do not trade the actual news, positive or negative. DKS is down 7%, almost 8%. Let's find some levels here. Not the cleanest daily chart. See how this is all just you kind of mushed up over here, nothing clean, opposed to finding a level right here. That's a very clean level right there, right? Here it's a little more difficult to find a level. You do have some moving averages coming in, which is nice. I'm gonna mark down this over here at 34.41, and the reason for that is because I have all these days kind of using that as a resistance. It couldn't crack through it into over here and kind of created a wedge on the daily chart. So 34.41, it's a level. Then over here we can mark down the low of the pre-market at the moment, although I think it's about to crack that. Let's mark down 35.70, low of pre-market. Let's put that in there. Then above that we have a clean level over here, the previous day low from Friday, previous day low from yesterday, previous day close all the way up here. If you want something within here, right, let's say the price action right now is at 35.78, and you want to get something in between here, what you could do is you can mark down 36.52, you know, a good area for profit taking, or if you wanted to break through from there, if you're going long. As you can see, these 2 days they're all opening and closing or hitting that 36.52. So you kind of got a line around here where some of these days and levels are hitting it. All right, so DKS right now, not the greatest pre-market action, looks pretty flat. Seems like volume might be starting to come in. Let's see if it can lose that low of the pre-market right now and head lower. So we'll keep an eye on that. AKBA. AKBA, what's the float on AKBA we mentioned? AKBA is 53. All right, so not bad. Has a lot of volume on here, so it definitely could be in play today. High of the pre-market, 1150. Low of the pre-market, very close to the previous day lows and highs. So I'm not going to mark that in the previous day close as well. But you have a level over here at 750, 786. Above that, we have a clean level over here all the way to spike up 1043. Another one down here, you got 2 days spiking up where the price action is kind of stalling right now around 930.37. So we can mark that. Then trying to find anything clean in between here. Okay, I'm gonna select 841. You got all these days is kind of hanging around, you know, kind of doing a range between that 841 and 937. So I like that. So I'm gonna mark that down. Once it loses it, then it really comes down here. Again, now is using it as resistance on the way up, cracks it, takes off, and back down again, just bouncing off that. So 841, tons of levels here, guys. So let's see. Pre-market action not as clean right now. It does have the volume, but the pre-market action doesn't look as great at the moment. So we'll see. Let's see what Roku is up to. Roku, not really much volume right now, but again, it's been a stock that's been so strong. It is down today 1.5, but I would not be surprised if this is ready to make a red to green move. Again, it's just on a serious uptrend over the last several days. You have some really healthy pullbacks here. These are not bad pullbacks. So let's see. I like Roku the way it looks. I think we have some levels already from yesterday. So you got the previous day close at around 74. You have 75.43, which we picked from, I think we went back on this one, right? Let's go back. Yeah, so we got it from this area over here, and then 77.71 from this top over here. So it'd be nice if we can get a nice little entry and a run up there. So Roku looks good. ADT's pre-market action looks a little funky. A lot of volume just sitting in this one candle here. So I don't really like that. And again, just looks very, very choppy. This reminds me of LAN yesterday. You saw how that pre-market action was. Look at these candles, how algo like they look, right? Let's look at LAN yesterday. I want to show you guys what that looked like and then how that traded. And we knew it was not going to trade too well. We had a feeling, but we kept it on there because it was up quite a bit on some news. But this was the pre-market action yesterday. Just give you a little glimpse of it. See how they had these candles just look like T candles and things like that. And then at the open, it just did that, very choppy, just sideways, didn't do much. So ADT looks like that today. A little better, but again, it just seems to have that algo like T candles, not very clean. You have all the volume sitting on this one giant candle down here, so not a fan of that. All right, do we get some levels for it? Yeah, let's get some levels either way. High of pre-market at the moment, 690. 690. Low of the pre-market, we have it at 634. What else we got going on here? All the way down here, very clean levels. See, this daily chart has a lot of clean levels opposed to what we just saw from some other candles, from other tickers. 592 is definitely a support over here. What else we have? It's bouncing back up. So if you can get above this 691, look how that 691 also is becoming a support for these days over here. The next level, 625, is a good level. So plenty of support and resistance levels for ADT. Just the pre-market action doesn't look too exciting, especially with most of the volume just sitting on this one candle here. MU's not doing anything, so we'll get rid of MU. Let's see what AMD is doing. AMD is not doing much neither. I'll wait for these two to hit our scanners. All right, guys, so let's look at our low floats down here. Let's look at our risky pile, see what's going on. The last several days, our low float list has been really big. A lot of stuff moving. You know, being led by BPTH, of course. LPCN, again, I don't like stocks that are under $5. I'm very cautious with them, but this one seems to have a some good volume today. 1.6 million shares traded so far. High of the pre-market, 348. Its price is sitting right now also at 265. Could be a possible support or resistance, maybe a fallen angel strategy. Actually struggling with that 265 now and selling off. So let's mark that. Let's see what else we have down here. Is this the... Nope, there we go. We got some levels. So 348 seems to be the next one after that. If it can get back up there. Right now it's looking pretty weak. We have a clean level all the way up here at 348. We can also mark down this one 4, which is, you know, the whole dollar there as well. These stocks tend to use that as a possible resistance as well. So some good clean levels already, but again, it just seems very weak right now. Let's see if we can even hold this 250 here and head back up towards the high of the day. But right now it's not looking great. It does have great volume though, 1.6 million shares. That's quite a bit. Let's see, CEO. We've been watching it, but hasn't been, for me, hasn't traded well at all. I have not traded, but I've just been watching. It doesn't seem like it trades well, but it is in play today. It is selling off. Short selling restriction on this one at the moment. Let's get rid of these levels and find some clean ones. Actually, we don't got to get rid of all of them. We do have to move some around. Let's move this one down to the high of the pre-market. Right now, sitting at 420. You have a clear one over here, high of yesterday. You have 801. Where do we get 801 from? Let's go back. Okay, I see what we got, 656 right over here. Where's 801 coming from? Not sure where that came from, so let's get rid of that. All right, so that could have been the high of the pre-market on this date. That probably was what that is. But not much, because this is a recent IPO, guys, so we don't have a lot of levels on here. But I'm going to mark down this one here, 470.78. You got these days using that as a possible resistance. Then it sells off nicely here. Then here I'm not going to mark any more levels because you got plenty. You got the previous day close. You have let's get rid of this 2 something here. Yep, 250 previous day lows. There's plenty of levels all the way down here. You got 308. You can even get rid of 308 because it's right on the previous day close as well. So again, just plenty of levels towards the bottom. But not really liking the pre-market action on CEO. I might remove this one. GLBS. Trying to hold here at around 750. We already have some levels because we've been looking at this the last 2-3 days. So previous day close, next level you have already sitting on the level around 781, 795 is one. 7 is a level we can actually move 7 towards the pre-market low at 735. You have 950 towards the top, 1062, and also 1148. And these levels we looked at recently in this ticker. You can see going back in the daily chart, you can see where these levels are coming from, right here, here, and then you got the previous day close hanging around here. All right, and then of course BPTH, see what it's doing now. Again, we got plenty of levels on this one already, so we don't need to add any more. Have the pre-market right now 46.70. You got 51.72, 61.90, and 73.38. Then towards the bottom, you got the previous day close. Several levels on here, previous day high and low, also listed here. Again, with this stock, I don't know if the levels mean anything really. The way it's moving, you got to really just play the price action and be very careful. And most important thing, just really watch your size on this type of stock. All right, guys, so this is what I have. I'm going to get rid of BPTH. I'm not going to trade that. I'm going to get rid of CEO. It just doesn't look exciting. So get rid of that. All right, what do we have? LPCN. I'll keep this one if it can hold here, start making its way up. It'll become interesting. If not, I'm going to get rid of it as well. GLBS is looking interesting now, trying to hold this 750. But same thing, if it starts selling off, then it just doesn't become interesting anymore. So out of the regular stocks, out of the mid floats and large float, let me see what we have. Great. Momo is very choppy. BA looks good. DKS sold off 35.71, lost that, so that's good. AKBA, not a lot that looks great here. Roku, let's see what Roku's doing. I like Roku, starting to bounce back, already show some strength. ADT is pretty flat. I'm gonna get rid of ADT. I just don't like the way the pre-market is. I'll look for this in my in the trade idea scanners. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 6 is plenty. And I'm going to get rid of one of these, probably LPCN, the way it looks like. GBLS putting in a move here. See if we can get back up to that above previous day close, red to green. Someone mentioned Peter, TNXP. Let's take a look. TNXP is doesn't have the volume right now. And so yes, doesn't have the volume at the moment. Again, another stock that's been good at selling off, right? Gaps up and then sells off. So TNXP has not traded well neither. And right now doesn't have the volume. I'd rather watch a GLBS. It looks like it's trying to put in a move here if it can get going. It just needs more volume, right? Only 193,000 shares traded. And LPCN has the volume, but it's not really creating a nice pre-market action here. I think LPCN might be the one that, if it can hold here, can put in a good move. But again, on these two stocks, guys, you gotta be careful. They're a riskier float, and you also have to wait for them to set up. In some cases, you're not going to get the setup. Do not trade them, right? Because they'll usually get caught into a situation where you can end up losing a lot of money. AKBA, I'm on the fence on AKBA. Roku I like. DKS I like. Just pre-market action, it's getting better here, but it's been pretty crappy. BA I like, bouncing back. Momo I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure about this pre-market action. And SFix is so not the greatest pre-market action, guys, on these. Hopefully at close to 9:30 can get better. I'll make adjustments as needed, but right now this is my list for the moment. ATUS is popping up into our gapper scanners. Not much happening here, not much volume. Anything you guys have on your end that maybe we have not looked at? AKBA big swing. Let's check it out. Yeah, it does have these weird candles here. Yep, around 810. Yeah, so again, but this here, sometimes, guys, this is just transactional based. I don't know if the actual price actually went down here. I've seen this a lot, and actually I've been in situations where I've been in orders and this will happen. I'll have my stop, let's say here, and I will not get filled. So I'm not sure what causes this. I don't know the details behind it, but in some cases that's not the actual price dropping and then taking orders out. I don't think it is, or if it is, I have not been, you know, stopped out or something like that when I've been in trade. So definitely something weird here, but again, avoiding these wicks right now. The pre-market access, let's say we look at the 1 minute chart, just still looks very choppy on AKBA. So again, not a fan of it. I might get rid of this one as well. It has a million shares traded, but again, it's not creating a good pre-market action. All right, let's take a look at AJG. AJG, what's going on here? So no volume this morning on AJG, so no activity, and that's why you don't see anything on here, no numbers. Next we have HP. Let's see what HP is doing. HP, no activity this morning neither on HP. What else we have? DKS has some crazy wicks around 8. Let's look at DKS. Yeah, same thing here, guys. Again, these wicks, yeah, they're weird. I just don't understand why that happened. I think it's just transaction based stuff. I don't think that if you actually have an order sitting here, you're gonna get filled. That's what I'm saying. SFix, yeah, SFix has news. What was the news? Let's check in Benzinga here. Let's go find out what the deal is with SFix. They have earnings. Yep, looks like earnings. Looks like they have earnings. That's what's causing this their pop today. But they have a good daily chart. I like their daily chart. I'm not liking the pre-market action as well, but I like that they're up 25%. That's quite a bit. So I do like their daily chart. And actually, the pre-market action is starting to get better. See, when you look at it from here to here, you're like, you know, what the hell is going on? But now I'm starting to get like a nice little downtrend here. We have a level here at 33.23. That could be interesting. See what it does when it gets there. But yeah, this looks good. Momo looks okay. BA looks great. DKS, so-so. AKBA, so-so. Roku looks good. LPCN still struggling with that 250. See if we can hold it. GLBS bouncing back. Just needs more volume. There's just no volume whatsoever. So actually, what I'm gonna do to make my list smaller, I'm gonna get rid of GLBS. Because I just think it can do a nice pre-market action here, but if it gets no volume, it's 130, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not, you don't want to be stuck in a stock that's not moving. So all right, guys, we're coming up on 9:15, so this is my watch list as of right now. Andrew will be on in a couple of minutes to go over his list, and then I'll match it up to his. Brian might also jump on a little later on, and I'll see what he's trading as well. And what I'll do is I'll keep watching these, right? We'll keep watching them and just kind of see what turns out to be better or not. Momo bouncing back will be here, but again, right now a lot of these stocks look very choppy. They don't look great. BA looks good. DKS, I hope it loses it here, then it'll become interesting, but right now it's just pretty flat. Even the 1 minute chart, look how flat this is. So I might even just end up dropping this. AKBA also very flat, has the volume, million shares traded, but not really doing much. And then Roku is interesting. Actually, it's been pretty strong the last couple of days. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Hope you have an amazing day. Trade safe. Again, just if you're gonna mess around with BPTH, let's see what that's doing. Just be very careful. You know, really watch your size. Really choppy right now. Doesn't seem like it wants to go any higher. But again, just be very careful, guys. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.